Tired of using VSTs that have string sounds that sound like a synth with resonance? God knows I am. So what if you could make your own realistic sounding violin melodies that sound like this? With just a few clicks and a little help from AI. A-Studio's new AI Violin might just be for you and me, but we're gonna find that out together. The guys over at A-Studio were nice enough to give me access to this new feature, but it will be my 100% honest review as usual, and we're gonna do it in under 5 minutes. Alright, so I've got this melody right here. And it sounds okay, kind of basic, but that's alright. Alright, now inside of A-Studio, we don't want to have any vocals here, so not a vocal synth, but an AI instrument, where we can see 3 new violin models. I'll pick the first one and put it on top, and now we'll have our melody MIDI right there. Now, I like to have total control over everything inside of my production, so I'll duplicate that twice, just down like that, all the same ones. I want the top line, ARP, and bass notes on different tracks. And there actually is a problem here with this one too. So just listen to the bass notes. Doesn't really sound like a bass. Now again, these are AI trained models, which AI has specific ranges that it will and won't work properly. And unfortunately here, there's not really anything that can go to act as a bass note. So what we can do is just get rid of this one, bring this one up 1 octave. And at least it sounds like a string again, but we'll worry about that a little bit later on. Then to do a couple things here, we can just change it up a little bit. Then maybe just go down right there, right here, something like that. There we go. Let's try out some of the other models though too. This one's going to be all the Vintage Violin 1. Definitely a much different vibe. Let's try out the final Vintage Violin 2. Again, a very different kind of vibe. Which one do you guys think sounded better? Because personally, I'm kind of at a loss. But again, all have different kind of vibes here. So let me know down below what you guys thought, which one was better. But I am going with the first one. That's what I want to do. But of course, we're still inside of A-Studio, so we can blend all 3 together if we wanted to, and create more of like an ensemble of different strings and different vibes for this track. Yeah. Perfect, okay. And now there are some effects you could add inside of here, like an EQ, compressor, de-esser, which we don't really need too much for violins. And we've got some reverb over here too, but I'll be turning that off because I want to use this inside of FL Studio, and I've got reverbs that I want to use. So I just want to export a very clean sound, and I actually don't want to have all 3 on each one. It sounds great, don't get me wrong. I just don't want them for this track. Then we're going to export audio with all of the individual tracks. That's why I split into 3 different tracks. Okay, and now my favorite part, the sampling. So let's plug these on into FL Studio and get to work. This one here needs some major work. So what we're gonna do is pitch it down by a whole octave here. And that sounds quite a bit better. I wouldn't call that a bass instrument, but definitely some lower notes here to help fill some space. Now we need a real bass. All right, here's what I came up with. It's basically just the same notes that we used for the top line melody. Something's still missing though. Let's put these up right here, make them unique, and then make them go up an octave maybe? Now for some drums. This melody really does not need any sort of drums, but like, I don't know, why not? Alright, so I added a couple of crashes here, an intro, and arranged pretty much the entire track, and this is what I've got so far. I've got no idea who could even rap over this. Alright, that's pretty much all that I've got to show here. Just a quick showcase of one of the new features here inside of A-Studio. Again, I don't think you're going to subscribe to A-Studio for this effect, but I think it's really cool to add on top of what they already have existing. A-Studio is a great vocal synthesizer where you can create any sort of acapella or vocal that you want to. And the guys at A-Studio did want me to mention a couple things here. It looks like it'll be remaining in beta until approximately June or July of 2025, so it's going to be around this time. Hopefully soon it'll be out fully. Right now it's still in beta. And another upcoming feature actually in around June or July, so again very soon, where they're going to introduce their expression control like they have in their AI vocal models into the new violin models here so you can have a more personalized experience, and that they plan on expanding their AI bode collection as well, so more instruments are on the way. Personally, the coolest thing here about the AI violin is that it's AI, which means that you're not just using a VST or some samples, it's actually somebody playing the instrument, training the AI model that you can get the most realistic sound possible. That's what I think is really game-changing here. But I think this is the closest thing here that I've ever created to a realistic sounding string instrument. So that is really cool for the future of AI instruments. Alright, that's gonna be everything I've got to show you guys, tell you guys about the whole shebang. What do you guys think about this, and are you planning on testing it out? Do you already have a studio? Will this be compelling enough for you to get a studio if you don't already have it? Let me know down below.